All right.
Yes.
I want a Jaylo.
Hi.
We are still in the middle of filling out this long-ass form from the place with very bad customer service. I don't want to get into the specifics.
Basically, yeah,
You need something. People are not willing to give you help. One person is, but she doesn't work for the organization that your form is from.
No.
And the people who work for that place are throwing some shade on the situation.
Yeah.
And being very uncooperative.
Uncooperative.
Yes.
Yeah. But the other person is being very cooperative.
Yeah. But you have a printer, a fax machine, and neither of us have ever used one before.
Right.
I just send documents electronically.
Yeah, it's easier that way.
Or have things printed out through email.
Right.
So it has been a very bizarre experience with the app.
It's been very weird. And then the scanning thing that you were trying yesterday. You remember that? Yeah, that was odd. That was a little bit weird.
Well, we were trying to send the documents. Mm-hmm. We had gotten a number from the lady who is willing to help with this. And apparently you have to answer the fax, which I'm going to sound like an idiot to people who know about this stuff, but I don't. So.
I think what happens is, if I'm not mistaken, because it dials a number, and the person has to, I think, answer the phone
No, they have to answer the fax signal. I think.
Yeah, I believe they have to get the
which is very confusing to me.
Yeah, I don't use fax machines very often, so yeah.
I hope they don't give you shit from this application. Like if one question's a little bit off, you know what I mean?
They better not, because I didn't. Yeah, I'm using this week very wisely. So
you're doing it to the best of your ability.
The best of my ability, and also I'm doing it to the best of my ability. So I hope they don't give me a hard time, because this is very confusing at times.
I will freak the fuck out if that happens. I'll tell you.
All right, that's enough. That's enough. Calm down.
All right.
Now, calm down.
I am calm. I'm just telling you how it's gonna be.
Yeah. No, you're not.
Okay.
You're not. I know when you're not calmed down. Come
really? On. Okay.
No, you're actually more worried about this than I am.
I am.
I'm worried, but I'm not dwelling on it.
Okay.
I'm a little bit worried, but I'm not dwelling on it, It's
I don't know, this is more proof that America has many, many issues and is slowly falling apart.
I don't know if
it's what it's reminding me of.
Okay.
Without going into specifics, and I know I sound like but it has something to do with you that could be beneficial as a person with a disability, and not getting the proper services. But
I think what it is, Bubs.
Yes.
If you look at the state agency as a whole, state agencies as a whole, right, that are supposed to help people that need more assistance than others, and specifically people with disabilities, right?
Yeah.
I think there needs to be an overhaul of this.
Let's bring up something, again, without going too into everything.
Yeah.
Yesterday, after doing this, there was a number on the form for people with disabilities, if you need any help.
Right.
You called that number, got the front desk of the office, and they said that they didn't know of any department for people with disabilities. It was a complete mystery to this lady.
It was it was odd because I told her, I said, well, that's the number that was provided on the form. And she honestly, it sounded to me like she really didn't know. So what I'm gathering is that there is no, that they are not connected to each other, as far as they may be in the same building, but it sounds like the left hand doesn't know what the right's doing. And that's a big, big problem. That is a big, big problem. They should have connectedness in these agencies.
Yes.
And I think there needs to be some change with that.
I do too.
I think the one agency that I will say that we both know of, which we won't tell the name, I think is very connected.
Oh yeah. They're really good.
And there has to be connectedness in state agencies, especially if they're dealing with people that need these kinds of assistance. there has to be connectedness, and it sounds like there isn't in this one.
Yes.
So I would put the blame on state agencies as a whole. Maybe, yes, as a whole. There are exceptions to the rules, like the one that we talked about with the person that's being cooperative, but very few exceptions to the rules. That's what I say.
Yeah, I'm starting not to believe in America anymore.
I don't think it's America's fault. I think it's just the few that are trying to bring our country down. I don't think it's America's fault. I think it's the few people that are not, they're not doing their jobs.
Yeah. Well, listen.
It's not the country's fault. It's the people that are the ones that are trying to bring the system down.
I'm not a full-on anarchist. I don't want to make it sound like I'm against the country or going to take up arms or anything. I'm not. I'm just a guy who likes to talk crap about certain things. Right?
But it's not the country's fault. What I'm saying is, it's the people that are heading these things.
Yeah, I guess maybe I should word it differently. As I get older, I'm more disillusioned with the idea of this is what our country stands for, is helping everybody and making sure that we all have a fair shot in life.
Well, here's the thing, though, Bugs. Yeah. There's a difference between getting our fair share in life.
Getting a fair shot, not a fair shot.
Our fair shot in life, but enabling the people that I think are responsible for this.
Yeah.
The people that I think that say that they want to help people, they're not they're not how should I say this? They're not providing opportunities.
No.
The way that they should, right? They're not explaining things correctly. But yet yet there are people that will still depend on them. And that's I think the way that they're going about it is really wrong, and there needs to be an overhaul.
But it goes more deeper than just you're having some issues with government bureaucracy, right? Mm-hmm. Earlier I told you the story about GameStop. Mm-hmm. And now Wall Street is crying that we need regulations. The same Wall Street that, we had to bail out in 2008. And that nobody went to prison over that except maybe Bernie Madoff. And, that Barack Obama used to get half of his cabinet picks from. Now they want regulations now that the GameStop stock has gone up so much because of people on Reddit. And some working class Americans have made some money. And people from the upper class have lost a lot of money. Like the hedge fund that was betting against GameStop lost billions of dollars the last couple of weeks. Now they want regulations.
Oh, well,
I don't know.
This is a totally different thing.
I know it is, but it goes back to the idea of what does America really stand for? Does it stand for everybody gets a shot and you just have to prove yourself? Or does it stand for we want to say that, but we don't want that to be represented in what we actually do.
But when but the people that talk about getting their fair shot, the ones that are talking about it, I don't even think they know what that is. Because there's a difference between giving people a shot at life, giving people opportunities to make their own money, to have the opportunities that they want. But then there are the others that are like certain state agencies that I won't mention at all.
Yeah.
That are bringing people. They say they want to help, but they're not helping, and they're not giving people an opportunity to do well for themselves. I think it really depends on where these people are coming from. There are some that actually do want people to have the opportunities that they have, but yeah, I think there needs to be some kind of an overhaul with state agencies.
Yeah.
I think it's at the step. It may not be cure all, end all, be all, but I think it's a big step because the ones that are supposed to serve people with disabilities and the like are not serving them well.
No.
And I honestly think that the centers that actually have people working with disabilities are best. They serve people with disabilities best, I would say.
As opposed to people that just,
yes,
like they'll casually give a wink and a nod. They'll kind of virtue signal like we want people with disabilities.
And they don't know. And they don't know half of the people that are filling out these applications.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, just by that example that this woman, this nice woman that really wanted to help on the phone, did not know why somebody, the form sent me to the front desk. I honestly don't think she knew, but I think that there needs to be connectedness, and they need to get to know their clients.
Well, I think I just know I just realized what I'm gonna get you for our anniversary in a couple months.
It's more than a few months.
No, I said a couple months.
It's more than a couple months.
No, it's like 2.5 months away. I mean, I'm sorry, for your birthday. You're right. You're right.
No, our anniversary.
I'm spaced out today.
Oh
I know. I'm spaced out today.
Oh my goodness.
I know what I'm going to get you for your birthday.
What's that?
Some bootstraps so you can pull yourself up.
I already have boots, thank you.
Well, then pull yourself up. Get some straps, okay?
Yes. No, but the thing I don't like is that yes, we should be self-sufficient. We should. I am absolutely for self-reliance, self-sufficient, but some people in these agencies, they don't know how to execute that. Yeah,
so I'm of two minds on this, right? So you would think that I'm just like of the liberal hippie mind of, hey man, everybody just feel the land and do what works for you.
Right.
I'm not just of that mind though.
Yeah.
I think that people should pull themselves up by their bootstraps. However, I think that there should be opportunities to help. Let me see if I can make an analogy. If I was sighted, this would be a rough time, but I could drive for Lyft.
Yes.
Or I could maybe get a construction job.
Yeah.
But those opportunities aren't open to me at the moment.
Exactly.
Well, they're not really ever open to me. So why aren't there other part-time gigs that could be open to me? I mean, maybe there are, but maybe I just don't know about them, right? So I think that everybody deserves equal opportunities. That doesn't necessarily mean that you have equality in outcome, though. Does that make any sense?
Yes. What I have been thinking about doing for myself, because I thought about internships. Because I was speaking with someone from an agency that we both know, which is specifically for the blind, which I won't mention.
Okay.
And one of the opportunities that they mentioned was working at a place for however long, and telling the employer, look, this person doesn't have experience in this job field, but we want to see if this person will work for your company. And giving this person a chance to have that opportunity to see if they actually like this work. And who knows? I mean, they may actually employ the person after a time. I don't think. I will say this though. I don't think 3 months is a long time for that. I think at least a year.
Okay.
To have somebody there for a year, or at least 10 months to a year, and have the employer decide and the employee decide, do you want to work here? Do I want this person to work for my company?
But what does that even mean? So I don't want to sound like a crybaby, and we should move off of this on other stuff because I know what I'm sounding like.
There's more stuff to talk about.
Right, and we will, but I just want to make this final point. I went to a blindness training center, which is ran by an actual organization ran by blind folks.
Yes.
I don't know how much the laws have changed, but up until then, I'm assuming it's still the case now. I haven't heard a lot of movement, and I'm connected to the community. It was legal to pay people with disabilities less than minimum wage.
Uh-huh.
So, like, if you get a job, your employer could legally pay you less than minimum wage.
I think you vaguely touched on that with me a while back.
Yeah, so, like, what does it mean? So you're happy in a job that pays $2 an hour. They couldn't do that to an able-bodied person. That's illegal.
Right.
They can do that to us.
I don't know how that.
That's not equal opportunity. I don't put it to you this way. I don't know if the laws have changed or not, but since I am connected to the disability community, and I haven't heard that they've changed, I'm assuming they haven't, which could be erroneous on my part.
It could have changed. I mean, maybe they should change. I didn't even know about that until you brought that up to me a while ago. Mm-hmm. And that's unfortunate.
We are exempt from minimum wage laws.
That's unfortunate.
Yes.
Well, I'm a little bit confused because, and I'm going to say this one more point before we.
Yeah, we got to move off of this.
Well, I was confused because I've heard blind people say that they do not have to pay taxes.
That is not true.
And I don't think that's true because if you are an employer, if you are an employee of a company or if you work at any type of job, you do have to pay taxes.
You do.
The person who told me, I don't think understood that.
That person might be a little bit special.
Yeah, I think so.
I would.
Or maybe they just don't have their facts straight. But I would imagine that anyone who had a stable job has to pay taxes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
even if you don't have a stable job in some places because there's sales taxes.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Anyways, Jaylo, enough of
that.
Enough of me whining.
Whining.
Yes. Jaylo.
Can I do this for a minute?
You knocked on my head, okay.
I just want to make sure that you're awake and alert.
I was
you calm down.
A little tired this morning because we got up at like 4 something.
It was more like 5.
Okay, and we hung out in bed and just chatted for a little while, which is fun.
And no one needs to know about that.
What? About hanging out in bed?
Right.
With my Jaylo? Well, one of us had their clothes on. Alana is... Can I talk about your friend visiting town?
No.
I don't do...
It's gone, okay? It's gone.
Oh, it is? Okay.
It's
well, tonight's going to be fun.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. All right. You better stop it right now.
Okay. Break out the champagne.
Bubs.
Okay. Miss Flo? All right.
Stop it.
I love your Aunt Flo.
Bubs.
Okay.
Would you stop?
All right. Anyways, we got up early. We're hanging out in bed and just kind of talking about life. Had a fun time. Got up, did some showers.
Well,
separately, because I thought Miss Flo was still. Okay, all right, guys. Your complaint has been duly noted. We ate some leftover pizza from last night.
Good.
It took like an hour to order it, though.
Well, yeah, we had I decided not to order what I was going to order because it was like ridiculously expensive.
$52 for 2 pizzas and dessert,
and
like a marble brownie thing.
Yeah, which is really good. But I decided what I should have done was look at the deals, and I didn't realize how many coupons were available because all you have to do is add the coupon and then order what you're going to order, and then that would and then from there it would be a lot cheaper for you to get. But anyway, so we finally settled on a coupon for 2 large specialty pizzas, and I paid a cheaper amount for that. So,
22 something.
Yes, which
plus
was
tip.
better than it's definitely $30 something less than what I would have paid. So I'm glad that I found the coupon feature.
Let me rick this story up a little bit.
Yeah.
First, you called the place and they said that something about they can't make the order, or it would be cheaper for you to do it online.
Well, what they said was they couldn't put it on a coupon.
Okay.
There was no coupon for the order for some reason on the phone.
Got you.
So the guy suggested that I look online for coupons.
You did that, and you're doing it for a long time, and then finally you're like, "Oh, this is going to be a little bit pricey." I'm like, "How much?" $52.
Well, and then I forgot about the coupon thing. I'm like,
okay,
wait a minute.
we're getting there, Jaylo.
Yeah.
I have not ordered like from a pizza delivery service probably since 2009.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking to myself, "Oh, I know that." Prices have gone up in that time, but I don't think they're by that much. And you're like, yeah, they're pretty pricey, okay?
Yes.
I suggest, why don't I download the app and check it that way? So I check the coupons, and then you save like $30 doing it my way.
I did, but yeah.
Does this experience, babe, make you want to get a smart device?
Possibly.
Yes.
And look at coupons.
And look at coupons.
And then add coupons.
Yes.
Add coupons and get the deal, so I don't have to worry about,
I got a coupon today for Walmart.
Really?
If I order this weekend and enter a promo code, I'll save $10.
Nice.
Yeah, but that you have to be a member, and I'm
You are
addicted to Walmart, so I am a member.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes, it was. But the pizza was pretty good.
It still is good. I think I still have a few more pieces, or I think it's almost gone on mine. So I'm well on my way to finishing it.
And we've had the delivery guy before. So I haven't ordered takeout pizza, but Alana has before.
I have.
Within the last 10 years. So
yes, within the last 10 years. We had
10 weeks.
We had the same delivery guy. Really nice.
Yeah.
Super nice. I said, hey, wait a minute. Weren't you here before? And he said, yeah. And I said, I thought so.
Yes.
And he was just super, super nice. So we've always had good service from him when he came over. And,
he's practically a member of the family by now.
No, not really. But super nice guy.
Really nice guy. Seems like it, at least.
He seems like a very nice guy. He even told the people in the lobby to have a nice night.
Oh, really? I didn't catch that.
Yeah, he did. I thought, oh, that is really nice.
Yeah.
Super, super nice.
Yes. And Alana tipped him a cool nickel. Here's your nickel. Don't spend it all in one place. Okay. No. You gave. I'm assuming you gave more than that. I don't do tip things when Alana's around, just because.
Oh my goodness.
I let her. She thinks I overtip.
No, I never said that.
Oh, I thought you felt that way.
No, I never.
Remember that one night, babe, we were having lunch with this couple and somebody else who we both know, and we were arguing about tips, and me and the female from the couple were both saying that we overtip. And I think you took the side of, listen, sometimes it's good to overtip, sometimes you just don't want to, or whatever.
Well, I don't have a problem with the overtipping if somebody wants to overtip.
Yeah.
If you have good service, you have good service. I try to give people tips what I think that they deserve if I'm able to. I don't tip if I can't tip, but when I tip, I do tip.
I try to give minimum 20% tip.
Yeah. I try to give at least 18 to 20%.
So they say 15 is like a reasonable tip.
Yeah.
I went out to lunch with two friends. This was years ago in Colorado. Mm-hmm. And one of my friends who you've met, it's the religious guy who's a super nice guy who actually like.
Which one are you talking about?
The one who we went to the airport with.
Oh, that one.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, and the other guy was the guy who called me on my birthday and started talking about COVID.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Yes.
Go on.
Sounds like you have the vid.
No, I'm fine.
Okay. So years ago in Colorado, the three of us go out to eat, and the COVID guy is explaining to my other friend, you should only tip 15%, and my other friend was saying, I do more like 18%.
18 to 20% is, I think, more than...
No. But my COVID friend looks at him and says, these people probably think you're insane for tipping that much. Mm-hmm. Like, I remember he was so up on the fact that you should only tip 15%.
Yeah. Yeah, but if you have the funds to, think about this. This is how I see it.
Yeah.
If a person is giving you really good service, right? You don't know what kind of, you don't know if they're struggling or not. And I think if you have the means to tip them a good amount, at least 18%, think about what that would do for their life. If they have a family, if they have, if they're struggling, I mean, they need those.
I look at it, if you have the money, if you have the money to go out to dinner, you should probably also have the money to give a good tip.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what I say.
That's what I say too there, Jaylo.
That is exactly what I say, yes.
Yes,
so I'm in favor of tipping if you are able to tip. So I don't mind that you over tip. I've never been against it.
And I'm not crazy about it, right?
Yes.
I won't give double the price. But, 20 to 30% to me is reasonable for a good tip.
Yeah.
Anyways.
And if you can, at least 18 to 20%.
Yeah, minimum.
Minimum, yeah. Because 15 is, I think 15 is too little.
And I try to be a good person, too. Like, I don't try to make people jump through hoops. I just place my order.
Yes.
And if they're reasonable, they get 20%.
Yes.
If they deliver it on time and everything.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
I'm not like one of those people who thinks because I give a big tip, that gives me the right to be a jerk to people.
Exactly. I say, if you can be helpful to the person that gave you really good service, I say why not?
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
Yes, you will.
So I would agree. I would be on your side on this one.
Thank you, babes.
Yeah, I never once was against that.
Okay. Jaylo.
Yes.
We watched a couple of films last night that you had not seen.
No. But they were very interesting.
Yes. We started with Kingpin.
Yes.
Would you like me to give a description?
Yes, and I can chime in.
Okay. Starts off, it's in Iowa, 1969, and this man is bowling in his backyard with his son, who has a really, really good hand. And he says, "Son, I think you could make something out of your life." Fast forwards 10 years, we're now in 1979, and the kid has grown up. His name is Roy Munson, played by Woody Harrelson, who is great in this movie, I think. And he's now this like hot shot in the amateur bowling leagues. He grabs a slice of pizza and is eating it right before bowling, and he's on his way up. He wins this tournament and is supposed to go on this tour, but his car breaks down because somebody pours sugar into it.
Oh no! Oh yeah.
And he needs $2,000 to get it repaired. Ernie, or Big Ern, played by Bill Murray, it has been bowling for a little bit longer, and says, "Listen, we all gotta hustle and do things on the side to, get through this thing. You could either hustle with me, or you could tell your mommy and daddy that you weren't good enough to make it in the big leagues." They go, try to get these guys out of some money by saying that they don't know what they're doing as far as bowling goes. They scam them, get in the car, but the people start throwing rocks. Bill Murray says, "We got to get out and face them." Woody Harrelson opens the door and steps out. Bill Murray closes it and drives away. They take his hand and run it through like the bowling ball machines where the balls come out. I don't know what that machine is called, but
I don't remember either.
It screws up his hand and it has to be removed.
And they kidnap him, right? Or the guys, whoever those. Was it Ernie's friend or something?
They weren't Ernie's friend. It was the guys that Ernie and him were scamming for the night.
Oh yeah, so they take him and they that's when it happens.
That scene was really hard for me to watch the first time I saw it.
Oh, it sounds painful.
Yes,
it really sounds like his hand is going in it.
Then we fast forward 17 years. And Roy Munson really hasn't done much with his life. He has a fake hand that pops off a lot.
It's rubbery.
He still wants to be involved with bowling, but he can't really bowl, so he just hangs out around the leagues or bowling alleys selling stuff.
He's been drinking a lot.
Yep. We see a guy named Ishmael, played by Randy Quaid.
And he is, here's some context. He is in the Amish country in Pennsylvania in Brimville.
Exactly. But he used to bowl with his grandfather.
Yep.
And he's pretty good.
Yes.
Bill Murray sees him, gives him a few tips, and then goes about his way. There's this awesome scene where a mugger is trying to rob his landlord. Bill Murray throws coffee in his face. The mugger runs away.
But he's a friend of his, right?
We're going to get to that. Thanks for blowing it. But yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Anyways, so he gets the purse back for his landlord, and he says, "Oh, and about that rent," she's like, "I know you're good for it, Roy. You're a good Christian man. I love you, and whenever you can do it, we'll worry about it."
You try. You're good.
You
You're
try
a good
your
guy.
best.
You tried your best.
We fast forward about an hour. Roy is counting out money that the guy stole from the landlord with his friend, and the friend's like, "I deserve more. You threw coffee in my face." The landlord comes in, sees the two of them, and Woody Harrelson is like, You tricked me, and he throws more coffee in the guy's face. He jumps out the window, and he realizes that the only way he can get away without paying rent is to have sex with his landlord.
Well, because remember when she caught him with that guy again?
I just said that.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
I literally just said that.
Okay, now I think I lost that one.
Okay.
Go on.
Fast forwards a little bit, and Roy is throwing up in his toilet. His landlord gets up and says, rent is due on Friday, so either give me money then or work on your tongue exercises.
Ew. Oh. Oh. Gross.
He goes to Amish country. He takes on a fake name. What's his
Hezekiah, I think it's Hezekiah Munson or something.
He becomes Hezekiah Munson.
Yeah, Hezekiah something. Yeah.
He
has an Irish accent.
Yeah, goes to Amish country, hanging out with Randy Quaid's family. Quaid sees this, pulls him outside. They have a discussion, and
he knows they're going to figure out that he...
Right.
Well, that he believes they're going to figure out that he's really a fraud.
Woody Harrelson continues with the scam. A bunch of stuff goes wrong. We're not going to cover everything.
No.
Eventually, he convinces Randy Quaid to come with him because the Amish community needs $500,000.
To keep their land.
Yes. Now, the bowling championships are happening in a couple weeks, and the grand prize is $1 million. So they can split it two ways, which is great. Randy Quaid does bad one night bowling. He's about to go back, and Woody Harrelson is going to let him return to the community. Then he thinks of the landlord moving her tongue, and he's like, "You know what? That was just a test, buddy. Let's go out there and hustle some people." They do their thing. They eventually meet up with this lady named Claudia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to skip over a few things.
I don't think we should get too much into Claudia because people have to see that.
There's some controversy there. There's one scene where Roy and her are fighting, and Roy's just like punching her in the boobs and she's kicking him in the balls.
That was quite funny.
Yes.
And he was still able to get up.
Mm-hmm.
He was still able to move.
Eventually, they get to the bowling championships.
In
Reno. They see Big Ern, a.k.a. Bill Murray, who apparently used to have a thing with Claudia.
Yeah, she gets around.
She eventually leaves the guys that she's with to go back with her ex.
Yeah.
Woody Harrelson and Randy Quaid, like right before this, when it came out that Big Ern and Claudia had a thing, Randy Quaid punched Big Ern, and he did something to like his arm in the process. So,
yeah, he did.
He basically tells Roy, "You're going to have to bowl in the championships."
You're going to have to bowl because I know you're a good bowler. Yeah. Roy
is behind on his payments. He hasn't paid dues to the bowling league in 17 years.
Yeah.
And he has penalties for that. So he has to pay a total of $38.
That was funny.
Yes.
He's like, okay, I had this and this and this. He's like, it comes out to $38. I thought it was going to be like $380 or something.
No, I thought it was going to be like several thousand.
Yeah, I would agree, yeah.
But you just said 380.
Well, I mean more than 380. You know what I mean?
Okay, babe.
Specific.
Is English your first language?
Hey.
Okay, I will get there.
Hey.
Don't get too wild there, babes.
Hey.
All right, back to the story. So Roy's bowling. He's doing great, but Big Earn wins the game. There was a Big Earn. I don't care what happens now. I'm rich. There was an Amish person sent out to get Ishmael and bring him back.
Yes.
He comes to the bowling alley, gets Randy Quaid right in the middle of the last game.
He's like, we have to go home now. He's like, okay.
Yeah. So Roy is alone and eventually leaves and goes back to Reno. Goes from Reno back to his home. Mm-hmm. Claudia knocks on the door. She says that she has $84,000. Roy responds by saying, well, the last time I saw you, you had $42,000. And she's like, oh, my boyfriend bet against you. Which I thought was great. We find out that Roy is getting paid $500,000 to be a spokesman for these rubber condoms because of his rubber hands. His nickname is now the Rubber Man.
The Rubber Man, yep.
They decide to help out Ishmael. They get to his place before he does and explain to the family. They kind of lie to them and say that, he was this big inspiration for Roy to stay clean.
He told them to stop drinking and all this other stuff.
They give them the money to save the lands, and then they drive off. Everybody says bye to them. And that's the end of the movie. I first saw this movie the weekend that it came out. And I want to say it was July of 1996.
Wow.
And I remember that it was a packed theater. Everybody was laughing. Siskel and Ebert had just given it 2 thumbs up.
Such a fun movie. Right.
So I go home, and at the time, I was really interested in how much money movies made. So the local channel here, KATU, I don't know if they still do this, but on Sunday nights back then, they would air Siskel and Ebert twice. I had seen it on Saturday night, so that's how I knew that they'd given it a positive review. And then they would air it again. They would replay it on Sunday night after the local news. And before the newscaster would sign off, they would read the top 5 movies of that weekend. So because I saw it in a packed theater, babes, I'm expecting it to have made like a lot of money and be like the #1 movie in America or something.
Right.
And I think it was like 4th or 5th. Which was like, wow, really? I went to see it and everybody was laughing and there's tons of people there.
Yeah.
So I don't think it made a lot of money when it first came out, but it has become a classic.
Okay. Wow.
You had not seen this movie before, but
I have not.
I've been with this film since the weekend it came out.
Wow.
And I'm curious, what were your thoughts of the picture overall?
I thought it was really funny. And how they had the most, what's his name? Claudia and, what's that guy's name now? Woody Harrelson's character, Roy, right? How they had the most unlikely, person in Ishmael to come with them to, he went by himself to the championships. Ishmael did after a while, but how he was the unlikely person to tag along with them. And but we got to talk about Stanley, right?
We talked about him a little bit. Stanley is Claudia's boyfriend.
Yeah. Well, now ex.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yes.
I don't know how much detail we really need to go into.
Well,
let's just say that he's a rich asshole.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think didn't she take money from him though?
Yeah, that's what happened. That's why she had the $84,000.
Yep.
Is Stanley bet against Roy, and she stole the money from him.
Yeah, good for him. But...
Yes. What do you think of Big Earn? I love that name for a character.
Big Earn?
Yeah.
I thought he was pretty cocky. He just thought he had all, he just thought he was something because he was big in the bowling league, and And I thought it was really interesting when Roy was like, I thought so many times about what I would say to you if I ever saw you again, because you ruined my life, right?
I love that scene because Bill Murray's just like, for years I felt like I may have played a part in what happened that night, and I'm sorry. And then he just walks right by him up to Claudia.
Well, I thought he was a phony from the beginning.
He was a phony, but
and also with the kids, remember?
Yeah, well,
remember
I love that
the
scene.
kids?
I love that scene. But the point is, he's a fun phony to watch.
Yeah, he's
Don't you
a
think
fun
so?
phony to watch. You can't really be mad at him for too long.
Unless you're Woody Harrelson.
Unless you're Woody Harrelson, but apparently they work really well together. But you can't be mad at him for too long because it is a funny movie. It's like, I'm bigger.
I don't care what happens. I'm rich.
I'm bigger.
I like that he didn't lose. You know what I mean? Because that would be the stereotypical Hollywood thing.
Oh, that Ernie would lose?
Yeah, I like that the jerk kind of won at the end of the movie.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, because it's more realistic that way.
Okay.
Because think of it. Woody Harrelson hasn't bowled in presumably 17 years.
Right.
So it would have been a funner story if he would have won the championship, but it would have been a lot less believable, I think.
Okay.
Don't you believe that or no?
I guess. I mean, I kind of wanted to see, Roy make a comeback, but,
And the way he did, how do we know? Well, actually, let's do some character analysis. Do you think that after this, Roy goes back to bowling?
Yes.
I do too.
I would think so. Yes.
What do you think these characters, not Big Earn, but Roy, Claudia, and Ishmael, teach us about second chances? Because Ishmael is beloved by his people, but he's kind of considered like the dumb guy.
Yeah, he is. And he's very easily swayed, it seems like.
Mm-hmm.
And all he wanted to do was to make his people proud. The fact that Roy and Claudia really, I honestly think they genuinely felt really bad for Ishmael. Mm-hmm. Because they thought that he was, for lack of a better phrase, dealt a bad hand.
Was he?
I don't know. Or maybe he just didn't, he didn't like push himself hard enough. I don't know.
Well, let's explore this because...
Well, maybe not push himself, but he didn't step up to the chat he didn't take any opportunities if given to him.
Well, I want to go a little bit deeper with you with this.
Okay.
Ishmael is not considered like the smartest guy in his community.
No.
But people love him. Mm-hmm. I don't think that anybody in his world really hates him.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
Yeah, he doesn't have the best luck in life, but he's doing all right. I don't think that he's dealt a bad hand. I think that he's just not experienced with the modern world. Maybe
that's what it is. He's just not an experienced guy. Mm-hmm. All he knows is his Amish community and what he feels is right or isn't right. Yeah. And it's just very odd how he got linked up with Roy.
Yes.
Just a very weird way he got linked up with Roy.
So what do we learn about second chances through this film?
I think that if you give someone the benefit of the doubt, maybe they will prove you wrong. Right? Because for all we know, I mean, maybe Claudia had a horrible childhood or whatever because of how she is.
We know that she was in an abusive relationship before she hooked up with these guys.
Yes, she definitely was. And I think that maybe she wanted something different for herself. And she knows she's not, she knows she hasn't had the best record ever, but, because she wanted to help out Ishmael, because Ishmael didn't have any money,
and he was innocent.
He was an innocent guy, and maybe she wanted to prove something to her by being partners with Roy, and maybe she was misjudged by Roy. after a while.
Mm.
You know, I don't know.
They're together at the end of the movie, but it's been almost 25 years. Are they still in a relationship?
Nope.
I agree with you.
I think it was just a relationship for the moment. I don't think it was ever going to get deeper.
I 100% agree with you. I think it's possible that maybe they last a couple of years.
And that's it.
Yeah, it's possible they make it to watch There's Something About Mary.
Well, knowing, we kind of have a glimpse about her her past, right?
Yes.
It's obvious that she doesn't stay with one guy for a long time because she was linked with Ernie. She was linked with Stanley. She could have gotten with Ishmael, but Ishmael didn't let that happen. She knows that Ishmael liked him, but
Liked her.
Liked her, yeah. Roy, I think she had some kind of she may have had something for Roy. I'm not sure about that, but
I think she liked that he was a bad boy.
Yes. She was attracted to bad boys.
Yes.
I would say. That's why she didn't end up, I don't believe she ended up with Ishmael because of that.
No.
Right?
She was never going to go for him.
No. But she knew that he liked her at one time.
Yes.
But I don't think that their relationship lasts.
We both believe that Roy goes back into bowling.
Yes.
But I want to know, where is he today?
It's possible that he is in a retirement community, wondering where his life has gone.
So you don't think, even though you think he went back into the bowling world, you don't think he was a success at it?
No, I didn't say that.
Okay.
I said it's possible that he may have done that, or it's possible that he did make he did have his success at it and made the most of it.
I tend to think that he made the most of it. I think that their relationship ends, but I think that he goes back to bowling and now is either a coach or is doing it professionally.
He finds a purpose in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he finds his whatever purpose in it that he does find, I think.
Well, because here's something about Roy that I find interesting.
Yeah.
Even though he stopped playing after the accident, you don't get the sense from this movie that he ever hated the sport of bowling because he still hangs around bowling alleys.
Yep, and he was getting supplies. Mm-hmm. Supplying the bowling alley.
Right, but that's my point. It's like,
yeah,
he's not somebody who's like, no, I'll never bowl again because I hate this sport. He's like, I'll never bowl again just because I can't do it. But it doesn't mean that I still can't love the sport.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
What about Big Earn? Where's he today?
I think he's living it up in some island in the Galapagos. I don't know.
Tell me about the performances in this movie. I think there's many really, really good performances.
They were very good. They were all very good.
Mm-hmm.
I am not, even Stanley, the jerk, that was Claudia, very good performance. As much as I didn't like the character. Yeah,
the only part of this film I found a little bit unrealistic is when he follows them to Reno.
Stanley?
Yes.
Yes. And he surprises Claudia. Mm-hmm. That was weird. I don't know why.
That's like a Hollywood thing.
I don't understand that.
If they did without that, it would have been slightly better. But overall, I think this movie is really good.
It is good. Surprisingly good, because I didn't know what to think about it.
I wasn't sure what you were going to think about it either, because it's a little bit raunchy.
I mean, a bowling person. I don't know.
Yes.
A person that makes a living at bowling. It's kind of a funny concept.
What would you give this movie out of 10?
I would give it an 8.
Nice.
I would definitely give it an 8.
That's about what I would give it too.
Yeah.
Would you recommend this movie to anyone?
Oh yeah.
Family members or friends, or what do you think?
Yes, I would. I would recommend this movie to both family and friends.
Pretend that I'm a member of the Jaylo family. Give me the pitch for why I should watch Kingpin.
Watch as a former bowling champion get back on his feet.
That's how you would pitch it.
Yes.
Nice.
With funny things and other things happening in between.
I loved the indecent proposal joke in the movie, which went over your head because you're not a film buff like I am.
I don't believe I've seen I've heard of it, but I don't believe I've seen Indecent Proposal.
But you know the basic premise of it, right?
I think so. What? Tell me that again.
Okay, basically, Woody Harrelson is married to Demi Moore, and they're having some troubles because they don't have any money.
Yeah.
They go and play at the casinos and aren't doing really well. This millionaire played by Robert Redford tells them that, listen, I'll give you $1 million if I can spend a night with your wife.
Mm-hmm.
So Chris Elliott has a small role in this movie as a big-time gambler. And at one point, Ishmael takes these dice that Chris Elliott wanted Claudia to blow on, and he throws the dice, and Chris Elliott wants a ton of money.
Yeah.
Fast forward to the bar. Claudia has left. She's taken the loot with her that they had won hustling people to get to Reno. And Woody Harrelson has this fantasy that Chris Elliott comes over to them and offers them $1 million to spend the night with this man. Which I thought was great.
And then what was in the and I remember, and then you were explaining it.
Yeah, and then his dream goes on further to where Ishmael is on the bed, like just going, "Oh God," and Woody Harrelson is just throwing money in the air.
Really?
Yes.
And so Ishmael's on the bed. Is Chris Elliott's character on?
I didn't see him on the bed. It's more like he's like regretting what happens.
Oh no.
And Woody Harrelson is just playing money.
Oh wow.
But I like that. I like that little play. If you know the movie Indecent Proposal, which, I mean, before that movie, Woody Harrelson was known for Cheers. Mm-hmm. That's what I knew him for best.
Yep.
And Indecent Proposal kind of brought him out of the TV world and made him more into a movie star, I think.
Right.
And that got solidified further with White Man Can't Jump and Natural Born Killers.
Ah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm glad they never made a sequel to this film. How do you feel?
As am I. Yeah, I think it tells itself.
Yes.
I think it tells itself and it sells itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There should be no other stories after this one.
Good. Yeah, and I'm glad that you're not a fan of Big Earn.
No, I'm not a fan of Big Earn, but he plays him so well, yes. Which means that he's very good at his part.
Yes, Bill Murray's great in
He is
films.
Excellent.
Which brings us to another film we watched.
Broken Flowers. I have never heard of this film before, even though it came out in 2008. 2008, right?
I thought that, but I Wikipedia'd it this morning. Apparently it was 2005.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But I did tell you 2008 because that's what I assumed it was.
Okay. I didn't know what to think about this one. I mean, I gave it a lower score than Kingpin for sure. Which
I was a little bit surprised by.
Mm-hmm. I mean, not that much lower.
Yeah.
Maybe 7.5.
Do you want me to give a brief overview?
Yes.
So, first of all, the interesting thing is, do you know who played his first girlfriend in the movie? The one who leaves him before he takes his nap at the beginning of the film?
Who was it?
Julie Delpy.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
I didn't even recognize her voice.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? Because she had the German accent, I guess.
And she's only in it for a short time.
Yeah. I didn't even realize that.
Starts off, Bill Murray and his girl, Sherry, get mail. She tells him it's over, I want more out of this, and you're just kind of like coasting through life because you were successful. And she leaves. He goes to his couch, falls asleep, wakes up, gets a call from his friend Winston, who lives next door.
Yes.
Goes over to Winston's place, kind of talking with the fam. He brought some of his mail over, goes in the back room, helps Winston with his computer, and is searching through his mail. Got this letter with no return address, basically saying, we had a relationship 20 years ago. I didn't want to tell you, but I had a baby, and now he's grown up and he's trying to track down his father. I just want you to know in case he comes your way. And Bill Murray's thinking to himself, oh, this is a prank. There's no reason to really get into this. Winston tells him, you should really check this out. But Don, Bill Murray's character, is like, nah, I'm not going to worry about it. I think like a day goes by. Winston comes over to his place and says, are you going to do anything about this possible son of yours? Don is still reluctant, but finally Winston talks him into making a list of women. Just so Winston gets the list, does some research, And then we're in this, like, diner. They're discussing it. Winston says, out of the, I think, 5 women you were with, one of them is dead. You were with 20 years ago. One of them is dead, but I tracked down the other 4. Here's some info. I took your credit card. I booked you, plane flights and got you a car and all that stuff. And here's this mix CD that I want you to listen to while you track these women down. So he goes to the first place, and we meet a girl named Lolita.
Yes, Lola, a.k.a. Lolita.
Who is very, like, kind of hypersexual.
She's, like, I'm guessing she's probably around 15 or 16.
Something like that.
Yeah, she's a young teenage girl.
Yeah.
Obviously is in love with her body, and she's not afraid to flaunt it.
Her mom comes home. Bill Murray and the mom hook up again that night.
Yeah.
He leaves. Lolita goes out to wave goodbye, and she's just wearing, like, a bathing suit.
Probably a very skimpy bathing suit, I would imagine.
Yes.
Yeah. And then the mom's like... And the mom is played by Sharon Stone, by the way.
I believe so, yeah.
And she's like, oh, put some clothes on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He travels... And while he's in the car, we hear the music that Winston picked up from.
Really good, too.
Yeah. He goes... I believe the next one is the real estate agent.
It's Dora.
Dora.
Her name is Dora.
And she has a very weird husband.
She has a very... And it's funny because his name was Don Johnston, Bill Murray's character. Dora's husband's name is Ron.
Don Ron.
Supposedly.
Yes.
And he's supposedly very, very chummy with this guy. He's like, hey, isn't that your old flame? Why don't we have dinner? Is he going to stay here for dinner, I hope? And he's like, well, I think I better go. But they convince him to stay over for dinner, which is kind of strange. They
get into this whole thing about, I think Laura never wanted kids. Dora never wanted kids.
Yeah, Dora wasn't sure if she could be a good mother to his children. Yes.
Odd interaction.
Very odd.
Bill Murray leaves, goes and sees another woman who is a pet communicator.
Yes, her name was Carmen.
Yes.
This is weird.
But the last time Don had seen her, she wanted to be an attorney. What changed her mind, Alana?
I don't know. Remember.
Okay. She got into the legal field, realized it wasn't for her, and then she met an animal that she bought a dog that she communicated with, and the dog's name was
Winston.
And at this point, you're telling me this is too far-fetched.
I told you, I said, this is just really weird now.
And what you should have realized is, knowing me, I'm not going to let you watch the movie with these many coincidences if it doesn't all connect. Yeah. So I say, babe, stick with it. I was thinking the same thing when I saw it the first time. Right. He leaves. The last lady was like, she lived by these bikers.
And she acted like he did like the worst thing to her.
Yeah. And we should say that before Bill Murray left on this journey, Winston told Don, look for a typewriter, and if you can get it for me, I could probably trace the DNA and figure out who it is.
Yep.
There's this junkyard at the last lady's place. He looks around and he sees a typewriter.
And takes it.
I think he gets beat up before he can take it.
Yeah, oh, that's right. He, some one of the bikers just knock him out because he thinks that Don is harassing Penny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bill Murray puts flowers at the grave of Michelle, the last lover on the list.
Yep.
Flies back, meets Winston for lunch, and basically confronts him like, come on, man.
I think this is a farce, and I don't think it's real that I don't think I have a son.
Another detail about Winston is he likes to write detective novels.
Ah, yes.
So it's like, come on. I go to this one lady. She got into animal communication because of her dog named Winston. There's just too many coincidences. This was fun, but you set me up on this.
Yeah, right.
Bill Murray, we should backtrack. When he was at the airport leaving to go home, he saw this kid. And when he's hanging out with Winston leaves and he sees the kid again. He goes outside, offers to buy him some food, does so. Bill Murray's drinking coffee and talking to him, and I forgot what the kid said, but Don says to him back, "I know you think I'm your father."
Yeah.
And the kid runs away. He's running away. Bill Murray's trying to chase after him. Then you see this Volkswagen slowly coming down the street, playing a song from Winston's playlist, from the CD that he brought from Bill Murray.
Uh-huh.
And you see what I'm assuming is the kid. He no longer has his hat on.
And he's in the back seat, right?
No, he's in the front seat. He's in the passenger side seat, looking out the window as they drive past. So
pretty much the kid got, free food from him.
Pretty much. My belief is that Winston set this whole thing up as an adventure from Bill Murray, for Bill Murray.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's some things he couldn't do. Like, if the first girlfriend didn't have a daughter,
right,
he can't fake that. He can't fake her being hypersexual.
Right, exactly.
But what he can do is he can contact them ahead of time and say, hey, do you want to call your daughter Lolita for the day?
Mm-hmm.
And we'll play into this. You know, he can't make up the fact that the third girlfriend went into animal communications.
Mm-hmm.
But he can tell her, why don't we make up this story that you had a dog named Winston? So we're leaving these clues, right?
Right. The Ron and Dora, right? That was very strange too.
Well, my theory on that is he told Dora, well, you're into real estate now. Why don't we hire some guy and we'll have him play your husband? Because Winston knew when Bill Murray was going over there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
He can't control the bikers, but presumably he's done research on Penny and kind of knows that she lives in a bad neighborhood.
Uh-huh.
So it's partially fiction and partially working with reality.
Right.
Which is that's what Winston does to create this experience for Bill Murray.
No, okay. What about that one lady that he meets in the florist, right? Because he's buying pink flowers.
Yeah.
Right.
Who told him to buy pink flowers?
Winston. No. That's not where I'm getting at.
Go ahead.
Remember when she bandages him up?
Yep.
Yep. She puts a bandage on his wound, and he's like, so what's your name? And she's like, Sun Green.
Yeah.
You know? Mm-hmm. It's just a very random person. Sun Green.
Yes.
At the florist.
Yes.
Yeah. Very odd.
Did you come to that conclusion before it was kind of broken down for you? That it was Winston who set up the whole thing? Set up.
I was... So I didn't come to the conclusion quite yet, but I knew something was up when she... when Carmen mentions that her dog happened to be named Winston.
Yeah.
I was like, no, come on now. This is just too weird. This can't be. No. Something's going on here. I knew something was going on here, but I just couldn't put my finger on it.
When we talked about it at the end, how did that change your experience with the film?
I still said that Kingpin was better.
Yeah.
But I appreciate it now that I understood it. Because when going into it, I'm like, what? This is too weird.
Because if Winston doesn't set him up and there's just all these weird coincidences, then it's a really bad written movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But knowing that Winston is the one who created this whole plot line, it makes it a lot more interesting to me.
And how he was, he was instructed with the itinerary, right? To give all these women pink flowers.
Yep.
All pink.
What would you give this movie from 1 to 10?
I would say 7.5.
What does Winston teach us about keeping life interesting?
Quite a bit. He loves a mystery and he wants his friend to experience it. Because especially when he told me that he liked writing detective novels.
Do you have anybody like Winston in your life?
I cannot think of anyone like that at the moment.
Do you think you would benefit from that?
It would be interesting, but I also don't like being sent on wild goose chases for no reason.
What does Don teach us about getting older?
I think he teaches us about, reflecting on his past and how he handled relationships. Because there were so many, I think we actually saw 5 of his ex-girlfriends.
And that's just from 1 year.
That's just in 1 year. You know, he really makes you think about what impact a person might have on an ex or what have you. Because he left them with something. Each of them. Would you say?
Yes.
Whatever it is, I don't know what it is.
We definitely don't know with Penny, but she was not happy to see.
But he left them each with something.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it was, I don't know. Maybe it was just a good time. Maybe it was just that, I realized my passion after we broke up. Or during our time together. I was passionate about things. I don't know. All I know is that I believe he left each woman with something to take from those relationships.
Do you think that Don is happy at the end of the movie, or does he feel like his life was somewhat wasted?
Maybe he feels like it was initially at the end of that movie. But what he does with it, I don't know. Maybe he reflects on what these women went through with him and to think, well, how can I be a better boyfriend/husband in the future?
How does this film affect his relationship with Winston? This experience.
I would like to think that they're still friends, but maybe he realized that Winston was actually doing something good for him.
Even though he got beat up.
Right? Because Winston's like, I'm really sorry. I mean, I didn't know that was going to happen to you. I'm really sorry you got beat up. I think he genuinely meant it. But, maybe he's going to think of Winston differently. Like, I should really pay attention to this guy. He might have some surprises up his sleeve.
What do you think it says about his girlfriends or his ex-lovers that they were willing to play along with this?
Maybe they had a sense of adventure. Maybe they liked a good mystery and they wanted to send this guy on a wild ride. What would you say?
Yes. I also think that there's a chance that maybe Penny wasn't in on the joke, right? Because Winston researched her and he didn't know everything about her. Right. That makes me think that she might have been the one person who he didn't contact about. He did not reach out to about this.
And then maybe not Winston. Maybe Don decided, I'm just going to visit Penny while I'm on a roll. But obviously,
no. He was going to go there because he was one of the names on the list.
Don, yeah. I know. But I'm saying maybe Winston didn't know much about her, and that's.
Oh, got you.
Yeah, but he ended up going there anyway.
Winston has 5 kids. What do you think a father like this is like? A father like this type of person is like to his children?
He's probably super fun.
Yeah. Adventurous.
He's probably very adventurous. He probably wants his kids to think outside the box. He probably has some interesting surprises up his sleeve. Like, can you imagine birthday parties for these kids?
Weird.
I'm going to send you guys on a scavenger hunt.
There's a fun scene early in the movie where Bill Murray is talking to one of Winston's daughters.
I think this is when I was kind of like falling asleep.
Yeah, and he's saying, your dad could be a detective, and for all we know, he's investigating all these mysteries. And then he walks to the back of the house. Winston is smoking joints. The daughter walks back and she's like, Mom says you're not allowed to have a cigarette. And Winston replies with, this is ganja. Then Bill Murray takes a hit and he's like, yep, this is ganja. And she's like, well, as long as there's no tobacco.
Oh, jeez.
I thought that was really funny.
Oh, I think I missed that part.
Would you recommend this film to anybody else?
I would, for me that I really, from talking to me that I really like a good mystery. I love mysteries. I think they're very interesting. I would definitely, I know that there are people in my family that love mysteries. I would give it a 7.5 out of 10 just because I didn't know what was going on going into it until like later in the movie.
I'd given you very little description about this film.
Very little.
Are you glad that I did that?
Yes. Normally I wouldn't be, but with anybody else. but I also think that you know about the videos you like more than anybody, and you wouldn't just show me. You're right. You wouldn't just show me something that was so predictable.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's so Hollywood.
Yeah.
Oh, this is this is what they would do if it were made into a Hollywood movie.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you might not like this movie as much as I do, but it doesn't feel like it's just a studio picture.
Right, exactly.
Does this movie make you want to explore the filmography of the director Jim Jarmusch, the man who made it?
I don't know, maybe. I haven't even heard of him until you mentioned his name to direct this movie.
I showed you a scene from one of his other movies that Bill Murray is also in called Coffee and Cigarettes.
Yes.
What did you think of that scene?
That was different. I thought it was kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
It's very different.
Yes. That was good, Jaylo. I think we covered it well. Unless there's anything else you want to say about either of these films.
No.
Nice, Jaylo.
No. I'm anxious to see what we're going to see tonight because I've never seen any of these movies.
The People versus Larry Flint, a great movie.
And Zombieland.
Yep. And both Kingpin and The People versus Larry Flint came out in 1996.
Wow. Both movies in the same year.
Yes. And I believe that Woody Harrelson was somebody... I think he should have gotten the Oscar for the movie. I know he was nominated for it.
Okay.
For Best Actor.
Wow.
I think this is a very underrated movie. This is probably, in my world, probably an 8.5 to a 9.
Wow, really?
But I'm curious to see what you think about it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Am I gonna like Larry Flint more or appreciate him, or am I gonna think am I gonna hate him?
I think both.
Maybe a little bit of both. It might be a love-hate relationship.
Yes. And the ending, I don't want to give anything away, but the ending is very it's interesting. It's interesting on the note that they choose to end it.
Is it vague?
It's not vague, but it's not a beat. It's hard to explain until you see it. But when you see it tonight, you'll get what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll have to take your word on that one.
Yes. Even the crazy lady, Courtney Love, is really good in this movie.
Wow.
Yeah, she plays his I don't think they got married. I think they were just in a long-term relationship. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's an interesting person to pick to be his girlfriend.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes.
Jaylo.
Yeah.
Did you have any dreams last night?
I did not.
Okay.
I did not. But I slept really good. And I slept like around 10, after 10, somewhere around there. Which probably is why I woke up around 5.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was a good 7 hours.
Nice, babe boys.
Yes.
Anything else you want to say?
No. I will say this. I think I'm getting closer and closer to being done with the form than I was yesterday.
I hope so.
I would hope so too.
I feel a little bit more calm than I did when we first started this.
Yes.
Because I came in blazing hot.
Yes, you did. Did I do a good job of calming you down?
You did an all right job.
Oh.
And then we started talking about movies and,
An all right job?
You did great, babes.
All right.
You were a genius today.
Okay, that's a little...
I was okay, but you really showed up.
Oh, jeez.
You showed up to play, babes.
Okay, that's a little too much. Yeah.
You did okay.
Okay.
You're all right.
In other words, I could improve on my calming?
No, you were good.
All right.
Oh, I want to ask you one more Bill Murray question. Even though we're watching a film that he has a small role in tonight.
Yes.
Zombieland. Bill motherfucking Murray.
Okay, what was that for?
I think that line. I think Woody Harrelson. I don't want to.
Oh, that was the one about the. That was in
Oh, that was in a Coffee and Cigarettes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bill Murray. I like how the Risen Jizza just keep calling him Bill Murray.
He was at a coffee shop. What was that one part where the guy was telling him, "Oh, you gotta eat these things"?
RZA was telling him that because he had this really bad cough,
and he was telling him to eat something. What was it?
I forgot what it was, but
and he was like giving him like health advice.
Yes, I have a question for you though.
Okay.
Obviously, you knew who Bill Murray was before we started dating. I hope you did.
Yes, I did. Of course.
Good.
Of course.
But you've now experienced some of his work with me. including films that you have not seen before. Have your thoughts about him evolved because of our relationship? And if so, how?
I think I appreciate him more. I mean, I don't know a lot of stuff. I think he's super funny, but I like that he also can be serious.
At some point, we do got to watch the documentary, The Bill Murray Stories.
Yeah, because you told me about that. You said it was really good.
It's really fun, and it's just over an hour long, so it's not a long movie.
I was just thinking about that, Bubs, because there was one specific story that I don't want to get into.
Go ahead.
But just thinking about all the odd stories that were in the documentary.
Yeah, because I've told you about them before.
Yeah. The one story, can I
go ahead. Yeah.
What about that one time when there was that guy that was in the bathroom?
Oh yeah, this is at the very beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
So this guy goes into this bathroom. I saw it like a year or so ago, so I could be having it a little bit wrong. I think it opens up the film. He goes into the bathroom, he's at the urinal, and some guy comes up behind him, puts his hands over his eyes and says, "Nobody will ever believe you." Pulls his hands off. The guy looks back and it's Bill Murray. And Bill Murray just walks out the door.
And I had to laugh because I'm like, can you imagine? Can you just imagine? Because Bill Murray's already funny.
Yes.
Can you just imagine that big smile on his face? Like, yeah. I like to see someone tell somebody. I like to see that guy tell someone that you met Bill Murray in the bathroom.
See, he's somebody I like hearing about.
Yeah.
And Bill Murray sounds like a very interesting person. I'm a huge fan. I don't know that I would like to meet him in real life.
You don't think so?
I don't know. What about you? I just think that he would be a lot to if you actually.
You think he would be intense?
Yes, if you were to actually become friends with him. I don't know about intense. I don't think that you could ever get to the core of who he is. Like have a real conversation.
But I think that's what makes him so interesting, right?
Yeah.
That would make me want to even talk to him for at least 10 minutes. If I don't end up being a friend.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I would love to have like a night conversation with him, but I don't think I'd like to like really know him. I think that would be difficult.
Wow.
I could be wrong though.
But I'm just thinking about that story about the guy that meets him in the bathroom, and I'm like, can you just imagine?
Yeah.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
That would freak me out. That would freak me out. No one would ever believe you. Wow.
It's good stuff, babes.
That is so funny.
Yes.
Wow. Yes. But I do appreciate him more, and I don't know a lot of Woody Harrelson's work, but yesterday it was really good. So last Kingpin, his it's interesting to see him outside of Cheers and outside of the other sitcoms I'm seeing him on.
I mean, obviously, I love Cheers, and I think that Kingpin is a great movie, but I'm very, very excited to see what you think of his performance in The People versus Larry Flint. And he's also good in Zombieland, but Zombieland is more of just like a fun movie. You know? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, babes.
Yes.
Yes. Is there anything else you want to talk about, babes?
No.
Nothing?
No.
You got some groceries this morning.
I did.
Are you happy about that?
I am.
Nice.
I got a new ice tray. I don't know. So I think I mentioned on here that I've been having some problems with the muscle in my right, one of the muscles in my right hand.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. We got you got that Band-Aid today.
I got like it's one of those elastic bandages because I heard it's supposed to be good for compressing muscles. I don't know if I'm going to use it, at least not right now. I think what I'm going to do, because I bought an ice tray, and I think what I'm going to do is the ice method first.
Nice.
Because that's, from what I read, it's the quickest way to bring down swelling. Nice. You just do it like maybe 15 minutes a day or 15 minutes or more.
Well, good.
That's what I see.
Yes.
That's how I see it. Love you.
Well, I love you, Jaylo.
I love you too.
I feel much better. I hope you do too.
I certainly do.
Yes.
Well, not just that, but we're going to have, we may have some ice cream in a minute.
We are going to have some ice cream.
We are.
Or you can watch me eat all of it.
No.
That would be fun for me.
No, dear, that would not be nice.
Okay, dear.
Dear. And the antelope played.
Oh, my goodness.
And the deer and the antelope, where the deer and the antelope play here.
Is that in the Star Spangled
Home
Banner?
on the Range,
Oh, Home
Bubs.
on the Range. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness, people. I played you some. Speaking of Bill Murray, I played you some Van Morrison today, but it was a song that was in Rushmore. There goes my baby.
No, that was Cat Stevens.
I don't know why I get those two confused.
You said
I do that a lot with.
Oh
this
my
too,
goodness!
And I don't know why. I know it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, Here Comes My Baby was done by Cat Stevens, which I've never heard this version, but it was good.
You heard it. You did hear it before this. It was in the movie Rushmore.
Okay, I did. I'm sorry. So I played him a version, but it was done by the Tremolos, and you said you liked it.
I thought it was good.
It was good, yeah. Yes. Yeah. Here comes my baby. Here she comes now.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, babes.
Yes.
Do you have anything else you want to say?
No.
Well, I would like to get a kiss from you.
I might give you that.
Oh my goodness.
Why not?
Oh my goodness. Let me touch these needles. All right, babes. Unless you can think of anything else, I think we should wrap it up.
I just wanted to say that you like my ears, and I think you have nice ears too.
Thank you, babes.
Yes.
All right.
There we go.
Till next time.
Until next time, happy Thursday.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.